Quantitative criticalism, also known as QuantCrit, is a framework for applying the principles and insights of critical race theory to quantitative data whenever it is used in research or encountered in policy and practice. Our group chose the article "The Retention of Educators of Color Amidst Institutionalized Racism." The stated research questions were: how do EOC, educators of color, in Iowa experience racialized school climates? Also, how do racialized school climates support or hinder teaching satisfaction and sense of belonging? Some key concepts in the research questions and how they are operationalized is the researchers operationalized the key concepts through various surveys that were examined through links between racialized school climate experiences and job satisfaction. The key concepts being racialized school climate to their job satisfaction and psychological well-being.
The study sample included teachers, school administrators, district administrators, paraprofessionals, licensed and unlicensed instructional and support staff, after-school and extracurricular staff, and facility staff. The target population size for the survey was approximately 1,000 EOC. The type of analysis used in the study was path analysis, which examines relationships between variables. The aim of the study was to describe quantitatively the racialized experiences of EOC and how those experiences relate to a sense of belonging in the school and job satisfaction. Guided by the recast model, the researchers conducted a path analysis to estimate how racialized school climate affects EOC's race-based stress, professional self-efficacy, sense of belonging, and teaching satisfaction. What about the study makes this article QuantCrit? Well, two factors. Quantitative research is not wholly objective, and there are ways in which autobiography can intersect with research. Critical and quantitative approaches identify discrepancies between theory and fact, and there are positives and negatives for comparative group versus context-specific approaches to understanding group differences. Quantifying experiences of teachers, for example, is one of the quantifying variables. This explains one group's behavior. The research quantitatively explains the experiences of teachers in a racialized school environment and how that impacts their sense of belonging. The other examines discrepancy between theory and fact. When EOC feel that they can influence diversity conversations in their school, they feel a greater sense of positive school membership. However, our results suggest that racialized school climate and experiences are more likely to push factors for EOC.
There were two important findings that stood out for us. Findings indicate that there was a positive association between teaching satisfaction and educators of color's sense of racial activism stress. This meant that the higher racial activism stress, the higher teaching satisfaction. Racial activism stress reflects the level of stress that educators of color feel raising diversity issues in their school. Parallel research also states that educators of color are committed to the profession and to their students even when their efforts in promoting such social justice and equity in their schools are overlooked. Secondly, when educators of color feel like they can influence diversity conversations in their school, they feel a greater sense of positive school membership. However, our results suggest that racialized school climate and experiences are more likely push factors for educators of color. Both a positive sense of school membership and influence over diversity conversations are dampened by feelings of racial activism stress. Critically reading this article informs our perspective of quantitative research by allowing us to understand how to quantify abstract concepts. This article was able to compare various non-objective variables such as racialized school climate, job satisfaction, and psychological well-being. This article also allowed us to see how there can be discrepancies between theory and fact. Ultimately, this article helped us to understand that qualitative research is not the only type of research that can inform factual data on people's experiences or more so abstract concepts.